for me from that news alert.
What are they going to miss with JTA tonight, Darrell?
Just that hustle. Somebody that's going to do a lot of things, a lot of different things, and a lot of those things won't show up in the stat sheet. Just how he wears his pride on his shoulder, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get a win. So they're definitely going to miss him.
No doubt about that.
Energy, physicality, competitive spirit. You notice the last 2 games, he made incredible defensive plays to get Steph some threes, to get him going. The one, obviously, that he dove into the stands in Boston, but he had a beautiful steal in Cleveland that led to a Steph Curry 3. So, to me, he's a combination of a Draymond Green and a Matt Barnes, morphed into one. He's been really, really important to this team.
No doubt. He should get an NBA guaranteed contract next offseason. But back to Curry here is Magic Johnson. We know he loves to state the obvious on Twitter. We have a lot of fun with his Twitter account. But it's hard to deny this tweet right here from the great one, Irvin Magic Johnson. It's hard to deny Steph Curry from being an NBA's MVP. He's the number 1, number 2, number 3 option for the Warriors and is still dominating. I would argue with Magic that he's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 option for the Golden State Warriors, Bully.
Well, he is 1, 2, and 3, as Magic said. And even more impressive, he's 1, 2, and 3 on the opposing scouting report, and they're doing everything to shut him down. And these last 10 games, he's just made a mockery of NBA defenses, putting up these huge numbers, you know, breaking into history and record books each and every night. But Darrell, what's more impressive to me is how he opens up his teammates, just his sheer presence and the fear that he instills in the opposition's defense.
Yeah, and we always talk a lot about how Steph takes what the defense gives him. And that's what he does. He goes out there, he takes what they give him, they're overplaying him, he's going to find his teammates, and guys get open layups and shots all day.
And you see the MVPs on the worst teams in NBA history. Bob Pettit, that was Jim Barnett's favorite player, longtime color editor, 33 and 39. Kareem had a year where the Lakers weren't even 500, and he won an MVP. And you see Moses Malone and Bob McAdoo. So it is possible for Steph Curry to creep through the back door and still his MVP. But there was a play Saturday night that really stuck out to you, Mully, and I want you to explain this coming up.
Yeah, it's just the attention that he draws. And look at this here, the early double team. So now, each and every time Steph has the ball, he's allowing his teammates to play 4-on-3 all night long. Damian Lee, nice cut for here. I haven't seen this since Allen Iverson. This is like a high school play where you got to get the ball to the best place at half court. Now, you want to catch that at the nail and just make a simple play. That was actually a big turning point in the basketball game there. But again, the attention that Steph Curry draws just opens up so many opportunities for his teammates. It doesn't show up in the stat sheet as an assist, but I give him a lot of credit for the attention when he draws double teams. And also, a lot of times, one of his, whether Draymond or Bazemore passes him a ball and gets an assist, that's almost a shot assist.
Yeah.
Because he makes these incredibly tough contested shots. And you saw that list up there.
Yep.
He totally belongs on that list of it. I really believe he should be the MVP. I'm not taking anything Jokic and Embiid, but he should be right up there in the top 3, not down 5, 6, or 7. Magic Johnson knows better than anybody. And all these players he's passing, Wilt Chamberlain, getting in the company with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. He's got to be up in the top 3. If they make a big run here, he should be the MVP this season.
Should be, right, Darrell? There's no questions there, but still ahead here on the show. Another MVP candidate we'll talk about is Joel Embiid. How will the Dubs trying to slow down Joel Embiid, who's also having an MVP type of season, as you mentioned, Bully, averaging over 30 points per game. But we'll break that down. But first, let's get to Monty Poole here and have him chime in on the Steph Curry conversation, powered by Cisco WebEx. A good afternoon, Monty. Look, Saturday night was a show. Last week was a show for Steph Curry, the Western Conference Player of the Week, the 16th time he's won that award. He averaged nearly 44 points per game last week. How do you feel about Steph Curry in his MVP conversation with Nikola Jokic and, of course, Joel Embiid, who we'll see tonight?
Well, there is no question that Steph is putting up MVP numbers, but he has a couple things against him. Mostly, he has the Warriors record against him. You can go back 65 years, and only one person has won the MVP on a team with a losing record, and that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the early 70s. So nothing since then. Every MVP since then has been at least 10 games over 500. For the Warriors to get there, it's going to take a real strong run at the end. They got to end 41, 41, and 31. And right now, that means they got to go 13 and 2 the rest of the way. That's going to be a tough sledge. So, yeah, but if they do that, I think he has a real good shot because I think Jokic is going to be hit by the fact that Jamal Murray's not there in Denver anymore. So I don't know if they can still get to the 45 to 50 win range that they were headed for. And Embiid is, how much is he on the court? That's the thing against him. Has he played enough to win the MVP? So if the Warriors have a real strong finish, I mean a real strong finish, and get to 40 wins, 41 wins, yeah, I think it's hard to deny Steph because of what he's done individually.
Now, it's a surprise Steph Curry is playing to a lot of us here after we saw the ankle sprain Saturday night at TD Garden in Boston. How's the ankle looking, and what's up with this new ankle brace that he'll wear tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers?
Well, Steph has a variety of ankle braces, and, it goes back to the early in his career when he had ankle issues and he had surgeries on both ankles. Now, the thing about Steph is that he knows his ankles more than anybody else, including the doctors, because he's had several. He knows when he can handle it. He knows when he can play and when he can't play. He's smart about it. I've seen him go out of games thinking, okay, he won't come back, and he comes back in because he rebraces, tightens it up, and he's back out on the court. So I would expect that if he's able to play tonight, and he says he's going to play, so I think the brace is going to be there. He wears a brace every game. Right. So the question will be, is there a level of pain tolerance, and you don't want another tweak? That's where you come into problems. If it's already a little weak, if he tweaks it again, I don't think the brace will be a whole lot of help for him.
All right, Monty, good stuff as always. We'll see if the Warriors can get a win tonight. That would guarantee them a winning record on this 5-game road trip. We'll catch up with you later, Monty, as we 01 a.m. Eastern, 9:01 Pacific time on August 3rd, and we'll continue through August 6th. And, of course, some key dates here for the Warriors. Kevon Looney has a player option deadline August 1st. JTA and Nico Mannion have a qualifying offer deadline August 1st as well. Alex Smoligic can fully guarantee his $1.8 million contract August 7th, and Damian Lee has a partial guarantee August 16th. So free agency will get started there in the month of August. I know usually it happens in July, but with the pandemic and pushing everything back, things have been pushed back here. But what is that moratorium period like, Darrell, when you're sitting there in free agency, the tampering going on and calls, you're getting calls left and right? Tell us what that period is like.
It's fun. It reminded me of when I was getting recruited in college. You got these GMs that want to reach out to you. You got your agent calling you every few minutes with new news. So it's a great time. I'm pretty sure now it's even better time with these bags these boys are signing. So it's definitely a fun process.
And the process is right now, watching people perform in this part of the season in the playoffs, and then you make a decision on where you want to use your money, where you want to allocate your resources. But the moratorium, a week before, you know who you're going after.
Right.
And the players know what teams have money. And once that first wave comes, everything falls behind that.
All right, let's take a look at the Western Conference standings here as the Warriors are fighting for that play-in tournament. And the Dallas Mavericks last night, the Warriors got a favor from their NorCal neighbors, the Sacramento Kings. They beat the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. Checking out the Fighting DeLon rights up there, De'Aaron Fox. Golden State right now 2 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies for that 8th spot. So they have the tiebreaker over San Antonio. 2 games behind Memphis. They'll see Memphis again this season. They'll also see the Dallas Mavericks coming to chase it. So the Warriors do have a shot here to grab that 7th spot and get a home game in that play-in tournament. So, Darrell, Bully's been fired up about the play-in tournament. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah. If it's basketball, we're going to watch some Steph Curry. I'm all for it. But I think the Warriors are getting hot right now. I think a lot of people around this league better be, turning that light on, like, hey, they're serious. But I think they're playing some great basketball. I think they could get up even further. Don't know how long Damian Lillard's going to be out. I think they've been struggling a lot without him. So they continue to put games together, string them together. I think once that play-in game comes, some teams going to be trying to duck them.
I'm a skeptic of the play-in tournament.
Yep.
But right now, it's not going to change. So I'm all in. And as Darrell said, as the Warriors are playing great basketball now, if I get to watch Steph Curry, Draymond Green play a few more games, I'm all in. And you can tell by the way Dallas is reacting, no one wants to meet the Warriors. No. I don't care who you are in the Western Conference. The number 1 team or the number 8, they don't want to see the Warriors in a series the way Steph Curry's playing.
44 points again last week alone. He had 3 games last week where he made at least 10 three-pointers. That is just absurd here, but we got to talk about the bench a little bit later with Kendra Andrews, of course. So we're going to have some notes there. Kelly Oubre Jr., he could be coming off the bench.
The first one, for sure, and mostly because it was the playoffs, and we're playing against Denver, and it's like, I think it was the third quarter of game 3, if I remember correctly, possibly game 4. But JaVale McGee was right there behind me. Now I turned around, he was staring at me and pissed off the whole time, knowing I made it. And I just ran back on the court kind of nonchalantly. And then to fast forward, him become my teammate, and we win 2 championships together. That was kind of like a little full circle moment. So that was always it's a matter of who you do it on. My brother was a victim of one of them too, so that was cool in Sacramento.
I love that. Yeah, JaVale, the victim of the person. Okay, that's good. That's good. Obviously, you're an avid listener of this, so this is nothing new to you. But Channing Frye joined our pod. This is months ago now, and on the podcast at that time, we started talking about different questions about what to expect for the season. And he's a LeBron guy, and I said some question about your legacy. And that's, a conversation came up about legacy, and he had some questions, moving forward. And that kind of spurred a bit of a conversation in the world. And from that, it was the next night. The next night you scored 62 points against the Blazers.
Literally the next night?
Next night. So, so my question was, who deserves more credit now that you act like you don't remember this? It makes me feel like I won't get any credit, but I was going to say, for me, evoking that conversation and inspiring you, 100%. or you for scoring the points.
Well, definitely you, because I think you have to manifest and speak that into existence. I talked about that last night, with a lot of the career milestones. So even in the moment, you gotta manifest that. So you put that energy into the air, and for some reason I call wind of it. 1,000%. Can you do that more often, please?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I always do this stuff. But more importantly, though, it is funny. So when you're playing, you don't actually ever think about these conversations about legacy or anything, right? Or do you?
You can
a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. There's a little motivation there, always.
Go on.
You obviously know in this business, in this league, there's a lot of comparisons and conversations and rankings, and just it's the best and worst part of what we do, because we're on stage so many times, and I don't think anybody on this level needs any extra motivation or any extra inspiration to go do what we do. But naturally, you hear stuff and you come across stuff that's like, all right, I get what's going on. You gotta carry that with you. You might not think about it like purposely, intentionally on the court, but in those moments, it does give you a little extra juice. Year after year, 82 games, I guess, honestly, you probably need some of that to a certain extent. So whether you're searching for it, or whether you kind of just come across it, or whether you write it on your wall or put a little note in your locker or something, whatever it is, you gotta, to be great, you gotta find some juice, whatever it is.
So like in Billy Madison, you have the names on the wall.
That literally was in my head just now. Like, it was freaking checked with the lipstick, crossing off the list. That's hilarious. That's literally was in my head. 100%.
$37.
Or you can join AAA.
I thought AAA was just tow trucks.
Nope, we do more. Like select DMV services at our branches.
Go on.
Well, members can track technicians, get free battery testing and installation.
They're already on the way.
Plus, get tons of member-only discounts.
Join to take a number.
Not here. There's more to AAA than you think. Join today for as little as $5 a month. AAA. Outsmart life.
Eye contact, elbow pump. Very nice, Andrew. Very nice.
Good job.
Next, apparently Carvana doesn't have any bogus fees.
Bogus? No, we work hard for those fees. No $100 fuel fee?
Pumping gas makes me woozy.
Yes.
Thank you.
No $600 dock fee? Ugh, the printing, the organizing.
No $200 cleaning fees.
Microfiber, that chaps my hands.
You know, we should go over there right now and show them how fees are done.
Never pay a dealer fee. With Carvana.
Your cravings have been taken to new heights, where seasoned beef and crispy potatoes cozy up inside of a warm tortilla. So enjoy the view for just $1. The $1 beefy potato Rito, only at Taco Bell.
When we talk about, either legacies or just players' standings in the league, especially when it comes to guards, it's who's the most unguardable player. And you're a name that definitely comes up in those conversations. But is there any defender in the league who you think actually guards you really well? Or maybe if it's not necessarily physically stopping you, kind of gets in your head and can frustrate you in that way?
I mean, yes and no. Like Drew Holiday, Avery Bradley, Tony Allen when he was in the league. There are guys that have a knack for being in the right place at the right time, being physical, studying your game, knowing your moves. Never in my mind are you like scared when you come in and feel like they actually can stop you, but you got to work a little harder that particular night or play a little smarter or even like Pat Bev, some of the antics and stuff like that. Like you kind of have to deal with that. But I think those guys exist and that's what they get paid to do is to defend, the best guys in the league. You feel like you still can get your numbers on them. But Seth Curry is the one that frustrates me the most because he just has that look like I know what you're gonna do. In that game in the playoffs when he was in Portland, they had literally 4 steals on me because I don't know if he disarmed me a little bit because he was trying to act like we were in the backyard, but he literally was everywhere and I couldn't figure it out that one little game. So he's on that list too.
Yeah, I remember that game. I do remember that game. Yeah. You seemed a little frustrated in that one. Actually, thinking about it, when you dropped 53, broke Wilt's record against the Nuggets, I'm not going to name any names on the other team, but there's certain defenders that come in that are supposed to be like the guys that kind of rattle you a little bit, kind of grab you and stuff. Like you put it feels extra good, right, when you score on these people, right?
For sure, because the coach puts them in there for that reason. And if they don't, if they make it worse, then that's when you're doing something special that night. So I was talking a lot of trash last night for sure. Playing Denver, just knowing that was it Campazzo? He was.
You named the name.
He was a pest. Like the guy asked me after the game, how was he as a defender? I said he brought the best out of me, and that was true. So.
I was going to ask, what type of trash talker are you? Because you have a teammate of yours is quite a vocal trash talker. Are you vocal? Feels a little bit more under the radar?
No, it's definitely under the radar. That's just my nature, I guess, in general. But it's like I keep it confined to the game, so I don't have like the material of life or like good one-liners and stuff like that. But I keep it to like what's happening in that moment. I guess my mannerisms kind of play a little bit more of a facial expressions or pointing or
turning your back on them and shooting over.
Yeah, that's the celebrations that might rub people the wrong way, but I'm having fun out there. I think that's the best part about it. Some trash talking gets personal to the point where you're bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with basketball. Some stuff is personal to the point of like I'm trying to just go at your neck, I keep it to the game, and that's why I like to have fun with it, because I know it's just basketball at the end of the day, and we're not solving life's issues out here. We're hooping and competing, and if there is some chattering back and forth or people trying to get physical and all that type of stuff, I'm ready for those moments. I guess I'm not the instigator either, too, so I'm a good retaliator in that respect.
Actually, on that subject, are there any young guys that come in and try to trash talk you immediately? Like, do people trash talk you?
There's it's not the majority, but I think there are certain guys have been like, I've been waiting for this. So like, I've been watching you play. I'm ready. I'm like, just trying to, I guess, boost their confidence up when they get out there. Because usually if you're saying something like that, you're probably not as confident as you're saying. So
right.
That's
a life lesson.
That's usually the experience, but I love it. Like that's the point. I love it. If it's happening, I love that it gets the fire going even more.
Yeah, I was trying to think of I can't remember too many guys like on camera just talking trash you.
Yeah.
Speaking of talk, social media exists and talk shows, etc. And there has been chatter this year. Last year there was an acceptance about the Warriors struggling last year because of all that you guys are going through. This year, expectations and excitement was a little back, but people were used to years of extreme success to see a team that wins some, lose some, etc. Within that, people also see you having one of the best seasons of your career. They call you're still in your prime, by the way. You've been in your prime a long time. Just letting you know. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. I've been out of it for like, but part of the chatter is they go, the front office and the coaches are wasting with their decisions and their strategy, are wasting Steph's prime, and he must be frustrated, pissed off, whatever. He's out of here. Okay, all that. I'm sure at some point you've heard this or been asked about something in that way. What is your take and what is your reply to that chatter?
I mean, I understand what the point of it is and the narrative, especially because I want to be contending for championships every year. I want to be in that environment. I want to be on that chase. Since the 19 finals, it's been a rocky road just with injuries and, new faces and a lot of youth and things like that. So it's not as it was in the sense, but the way that I respond to it is, that's kind of the nature of the league. Like if you're, around long enough, you're going to get every type of experience, especially if you're staying with one organization and there's some turnover there. Obviously when Clay went down over the offseason, like that was a tough blow, and you're trying to react when on your feet, and Bob and Joe and coach are trying to make the right moves and put the best team out there. But for us, it's like in the moment, if we're ever complacent in that, if I ever get a vibe that we're just cool, just existing in this space or not ever trying to get better, that's when I would have issues, and never felt like, it's not for a lack of effort that we're not, living up to our own expectations in terms of what this year is supposed to be. And I'm a part of that. So I'm in the fight. And so it's I don't put any credence on it. It's just a matter of where are we going from here? How are we trying to get better? How are we trying to get back to that? And putting all my energy and